PASL Northwest contest between the visiting Olympic Force and your Seattle Sporting FC. For the introductions for the visiting Olympic Force, head goalkeeper wearing number 1, Marshall Reese. Goalkeeper wearing number 88, Juan Gash. Wearing number 3, Diego Acivas. Wearing number 8, Leo Potts. Wearing number 9, Brian Mealer. Wearing number 11, Justin Stoddard. Wearing number 12, Kevin Flash. Number 13, Gustavo Bermudez. Wearing number 14, Jacob Beck. We're number 15, Francisco Cisneros. We're number 16, Victor Kelman. We're number 19, Al-Hassan Awadu. We're number 22, Val Schmenko. And we're number 23, Brody Spigerwell. Olympic is head coach by David Meir. Down minute 5, Michael McDonald. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet your Seattle Sporting FC. First, starting with the non-starter. We're number 2, Julio Reyes. We're number 3, Lupe Rodriguez. We're number 4, Jeff Hidalgo. We're number 6, Hector Rodriguez. We're number 7, Carlos Betancourt. We're number 10, Esteban Reyes. We're number 8, Lucas Dorado. We're number 15, Eli Sig. We're number 16, Drew Barrett. We're number 13, James Postma. And we're number 12, Chad Moe. Backup goalkeeper is Wesley De Silva. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet your Seattle Sporting FC starters. In goal, we're number 1, Jeff Renslow. We're number 5, Corey Hendrickson. We're number 9, Zach Crutchfield. We're number 11, Mitch Reiner. We're number 14, Jordan Carrera. And we're number 20, Marco Silva. Sporting is head coached by Craig Otto and general managed by Aaron Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise and remove your hats for the playing of tonight's national anthem.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Everett Soccer Arena, the Soccer Dome, as they call it. My name is Brandon Enyart, and the weather outside, well, it looks a little more like outdoor soccer time, but the calendar still says It's indoor soccer season. In fact, we're in the home stretch here. Both of these teams, Seattle Sporting FC and Olympic Forest, both have been the cream of the crop in their division, the PASL. Olympic Forest have gotten the better of Seattle Sporting this year. And their first game was actually the home opener, or it was actually the opener, I should say, for the season, where Seattle Sporting had a bit of a rough go of it, lost 8-2 to Olympic Forest. They've got a totally different team now. And Olympic Forest right now, they actually are top of the league. If Seattle Sporting were to beat the Olympic Forest by 11 goals today, they would actually take this division. It's a very, very mighty task for Seattle Sporting FC, but stranger things have happened. This game should be very, very competitive, a very, very good game. Actually, the Olympic Forest, they come all the way from Bremerton, and they missed the ferry, almost missed their ferry on the way here. We didn't even know this game was going to happen.
It's kickoff time. Make some noise.
All right, looks like we're just about ready to kick off right now. Olympic Forest will start the game. It's going to be Kevin Flavin who will get the kickoff. Starting in goal for Seattle is Jeff Renzio. Olympic Forest, we've got Marshall Reese. Right now, Olympic Forest, they're dressed in red with white sleeves. There's a shot, actually, goes just wide of the Seattle Sporting net. But yeah, Olympic Forest, red jerseys with white sleeves. They got blue trunks on, white socks. Seattle Sporting in all blue except for their white socks. The keepers today for Olympic Forest. Reese has gray with black trunks. Whereas Seattle Sporting, Jeff Renzio, has green top, black pants. Olympic Forest with the ball right now inside their own zone. The pass by Bermudez. He's going to send it all the way up to Brian Mayherd. Mayherd now battling along the boards with Mitch Reinhart. Reinhart taken down. And Seattle Sporting is going to still come out with the ball, though. Although a clearance attempt by Reinhart gets blocked by Kevin Flavin. Goes into the netting. It looks like, yes, it's going to be Jeff Renzio with the restart here. Jeff Renzio will send it up to actually all the way down into the Olympic Forest zone. But it's quickly brought back down into the Seattle Sporting zone. Renzio now tries to get to midfield. It's intercepted by Olympic Forest. There's a goal. That was by number 14, Jacob Beck. And Olympic Forest have the 1-0 lead early here. About 13-10 left to go in the first quarter. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, Olympic Forest got here a little bit late. They missed their ferry, so we're still trying to get all their numbers and names all together here. They didn't bring the full team.
Olympic Forest goal, their first of the evening, scored by number 14, Jacob Beck at 3:08. That's Forest goal, Beck, 3:08.
All right now we've got Lupe Rodriguez with the ball for Seattle, but he coughs it up. Now Olympic Forest making their way back down into Seattle Sporting territory. Right now midfield, it was Francisco Cisneros, but he's going to have to actually take it back into Seattle Sporting zone. Here's Seattle. It's going to be Lupe Rodriguez. Tried to get a shot away, but Olympic Force's defense proving to be good early on here. Renzio now, the goalkeeper for Seattle Sporting. He gives it up again to Olympic Force, and it's going to be Leo Potts now with the ball, but Julio Reyes is able to get it away from him and get it up to into the Olympic Force zone. And the ball now finds its way out of play. And is going to be restarted now by Marshall Reese, the keeper for Olympic Force. Reyes gets in the way of a pass from Olympic Force. And now it's Eli Say who gets it away and up to Jordan Carrera. Carrera now into Seattle zone. He gets it over to Esteban Reyes. Reyes plays it back toward Eli Say, but now Olympic Forest getting the ball back. Say getting in the way again. He gets it, takes it away from the force, but it goes out of bounds just a little bit to the left if you're on the Olympic Force bench. This is going to be a thrown back in from the touchline, or I should say play back in from the touchline over to Reese. Reese now with the ball for Force. He hooks one over to Flavin, who takes a shot and is saved by Renzio and goes up into the netting here. And it's going to be a shot now from the red line for the Olympic Force. Blocked by Seattle Sporting Wall. Now pass all the way up to Lupe Rodriguez. Rodriguez has the ball. Takes a shot. It just misses the net. Goes and makes his way around the boards. There's a shot taken by Corey Hendrickson. Gets back to Lupe Rodriguez. Lupe with the ball right now at the touchline. He passes it all the way back to Renzio. Renzio way out of his net now, almost at midfield. So he gets it over to Mitch Reinhardt. Finds his way back to Renzio. Renzio gets it up to Zach Crutchfield, who works his way up to Lupe Rodriguez, but finds its way into the arms of Reese, the keeper here for Olympic Force. Mitch Reinhardt coughs the ball up to Olympic Force. And that's Leo Potts, who gets it over to Diego Aceves. Olympic Force trying to organize something here. Aceves plays over to Victor Kelmel, who will play it all the way back to Reese. Fresh legs on the pitch now for both teams. As Awadu for Olympic Force gets it back to the red line, but now it actually ends up playing all the way back to Reese. Reese will now get it up to Leo Potts. Potts now with the ball for Olympic Force. He passes it back. Francisco Cisneros now with the ball for the Force. He has Carrera on him. Carrera forces Potts to play it, or Cisneros to play it all the way back to Reese. Cisneros lets the ball go through on a pass from Reese. Now battle in the corner here right below me. Seattle able to come out with it, and now it's Marco Silva with the ball for Seattle. And now on the counterattack, it's Olympic Force. Shot taken there, and it's a goal by Awadu for Olympic Force. And it's 2-0, with it looks like about 8:20 left to go in this first quarter. So, Olympic Force jumping out to an early 2-0 lead. Seattle Sporting going to take a few minutes here to talk it over, see what's going on.
Come out, Sporting.
Timeout there called, as you can hear over the PA, by Seattle Sporting SC. They want to make sure they stop the bleeding right now. As I said, both of these teams, no matter what the result today, both of these teams will be headed for the championship game on the 28th. Now, if Seattle was to win this game by 11 goals, which seems like a crazy amount, but it's happened, then they would actually host the championship. But as it stands right now with the goal differential to Olympic Force, they're going to be hosting the championship, where they will meet up once again with Seattle Sporting in Bremerton. And this time, Seattle will be riding the ferries over. All right, now we're back on here. Julio Reyes with the ball. He dumps it down into Olympic territory.
That's Olympic goal, scored by Awadu at 8:16.
Reyes once again with the ball. He gets it down to Esteban Reyes. Reyes, they'll have to retreat back and pass the ball to Jeff Renzio. Renzio, they're able to dump it down, and he finds it's number 17 on his jersey. I don't have that down on my roster here for Seattle, so I'll try to get that one figured out. Eli Say with the ball now deep in his own territory for Seattle. The shot taken there by Olympic Force goes just wide. Eli Say once again trying to handle it, but he coughs it up again to Olympic Force. Another shot taken. That was by Gustavo Bermudez. And now Diego Aceves. He passed the ball to Shimko. But Julio Reyes able to get in the middle of the pass for Seattle Sporting. He dumps it all the way down to Esteban Reyes, but the ball actually hits the netting here in the ceiling. And it's going to be, they say it went off of an Olympic Force player last. So Lupe Rodriguez is going to take the shot here from the Olympic red line. He makes the pass. And the shot there taken by, looks like, that might have been Julio Reyes, who put it way high of the net. And way wide as well off that shot. So Seattle Sporting not able to do anything with that free kick. Once again, Lupe Rodriguez on the ball. He tries to pass over to Reyes, but it's blocked by the Olympic Force defense. Renzio, though, able to get it back down into Olympic Force territory. And Lupe working it off the boards. Ball almost goes out of play, but somehow manages to stay in. And now Eli Say has it for Seattle. He's at the Olympic red line. Lupe Rodriguez once again with the ball. He finds Julio Reyes. Reyes still has Lupe to his left, and he finds him. He has Esteban Reyes to his right, but actually they end up passing it back to Renzio. Now it's Reyes with the ball. He dumps it down into Olympic Force territory. But Shimko chases it down, although it's actually Esteban Reyes, who almost had the open shot on net, but Olympic Force defense stifling right now. As Lupe Rodriguez dumps it back down in for Seattle. They're getting a lot of chances down in Olympic Force zone, but they're not getting many shots away. Julio Reyes trying to get something out of this, but he gets taken into the boards. Referee says there was a foul on Seattle Sporting. A little bit of pushing and shoving going on there on the free kick from Olympic Force. Referee giving a talking to Reyes, though. After Reyes was pushed down, Seattle Sporting bench not happy about what's going on here. Referee seems to think, though, that Esteban Reyes was the instigator there, and he gets the talking to. Now Olympic Force down in Seattle Sporting zone. Forced retreat back to Reese, who dumps it back down here. The ball comes into the corner where I'm calling the game from. Now it's Carrera for Seattle Sporting off of the dump in by Renzio. Foul called against Olympic Force. Now there'll be a free kick from the Olympic Force bench for Seattle. Passer by Reinhardt. He finds Hendrickson, but Olympic Force able to come out with the ball somehow. Olympic Force now making their way to midfield. Steigerwald, who gets intercepted by Reinhardt. Reinhardt looks to take the shot, but he's brought down by Steigerwald. And now more bodies fly. Carrera also goes down. A blue card being shown to Mitch Reinhardt. And it will be a 2-minute power play for Olympic Force. We're already up 2-0 with 3:41 left to go in this first quarter. So for those of you who aren't familiar with indoor soccer,
blue card shown to number 11, Mitch Reinhardt at 3.
A blue card
That's 2 minutes.
Is a 2-minute power play. That means Olympic Force has a man up. A yellow card is a 5-minute penalty, but there is no power play when a yellow card is shown. But that player, of course, is not able to play for 5 minutes. This is a blue card, though, so a 2-minute power play for the Olympic Force right now. You've got Seattle Sporting setting up in a very defensive shell right now, trying to kill this one off. Ball goes out of play near the Seattle Sporting bench. It went off of an Olympic Force player last, so it's dumped down by Eli Say into Olympic Force zone, trying to get some seconds knocked off of this penalty. Force now organizing their power play. Right now, Cisneros out there, as well as Aceves. Eli Say able to dump it down toward the Olympic Forest bench. It finds its way to Reese. Good, valuable seconds kicked off of this power play, though, for Seattle as they remain in their defensive shell. Renzio able to get on a little bit of a jumble in front of his net. And he takes some time off the clock, dumps it down toward his counterpart for Olympic Force, Marshall Reese. And once again, Olympic Force going to try out this power play. Aceves now, he tries to play it up, but good defense here by Seattle Sporting. Renzio, once again, able to collect the ball after a good mass of bodies in front of him. Reese will play it up to Aceves. Aceves looking to take the shot. He takes one. Was actually looking for Kevin Flavin, but he couldn't quite get it to him. Gustavo Bermudez out there as well for the Olympic Force. Oh, and a shot just goes wide. Renzio very lucky on that one. Eli Satho able to get the ball up to number 13, and it was James Postma for Seattle Sporting FC, as they are now back at full strength in Olympic Force zone. But the Force get the ball back. And is Gustavo Bermudez. Awadu is brought down, and now they're going to call a foul against Seattle Sporting FC. That foul is, I believe, called on James Postma. And a free kick is going to be coming up here for the Force. Rodriguez for the home team gets it over to number 17. Again, we don't have his name here yet. Roster that I have has no 17, but that, it happens. That happens every once in a while. Eli Satho, he's on the roster. He's got the ball for Seattle Sporting at the Olympic Force red line. Dumps it down to the corner where it's battled for by Cisneros. Seattle forced to retreat, and the ball comes back to Zach Crutchfield. He tries to dump it down, but Olympic Force able to keep it in the neutral zone. Although now they do retreat back with a pass to their keeper, Reese. And that is the end of the first quarter. Seattle Sporting down 2-0 right now, but lucky not to be down by more after they had to kill off that 2-minute power play. Again, my name is Brandon Anya. We're here in Everett Soccer Arena, and both teams are going to have a bit of a break here as we go from the first quarter to the second quarter. And with that, I will take a break as well and be back for the start of the second quarter. All right, both teams about ready to get the second quarter back underway. The teams will have switched sides. So now to my left, I will have Marshall Reese, the keeper for Olympic Force. And to my right, I will have the keeper for Seattle Sporting FC, Jeff Renzio. So as we left in the first quarter, 2-0. The visitors with the early lead here as we start the second quarter. Number 17, as I was referring to him during the first quarter, we didn't have him on the roster. Well, I made sure that I got that at the break. Radcliffe McDonald, number 17 for Seattle Sporting FC. And it will be Marco Silva who will kick this second quarter off. He plays back to Carrera. Carrera gets it back up to Silva and ends up getting back to Carrera, who gets up to Hector Rodriguez. Battling along the boards as Carrera now has it. He's at the far touchline. Ball deflected back into the midfield area of this arena. And now here's Seattle with the ball. It's Rodriguez who gets it over to, big chance for Marco Silva. It just goes wide. Looked like that was going to be the opening goal for Seattle Sporting. Another shot taken by Carrera. It's blocked by number 3, Diego Aceves for Olympic Force. Ball now back into the neutral zone. Zach Crutchfield, though, able to get it back into Olympic Force territory. Marco Silva tries to keep it in, but it finds its way back to the Force. And now they've got numbers up there for their 1 and 3. Oh, there's a goal. Another goal by Olympic Force. It was Gustavo Bermudez who put that one in. It's 3-0. And much like the first quarter, we start off with an early goal in this second quarter for Olympic Force. They've proven to be the top team in this division. In fact, their only loss this year was to Vancouver, and coincidentally, Seattle only has 2 losses this year, and one is to Olympic Force. The other one is to Vancouver as well. So Vancouver might be third in the division, but they do have the number of both the top teams. Reese with the ball now for Olympic Force. He gets it up past midfield, but it's intercepted by Lupe Rodriguez for Seattle. He manages to get it up to Dorado. Dorado gets it into the corner. Lucas Dorado now plays it back to midfield. Another good block there by Olympic Force on a dump-in try by Seattle. And that's where Olympic Force is really dominating right now. They're dominating the midfield, though. Julio Reyes gets brought down. He's not happy. A blue card shown to Olympic Force, and that will be Brody Steigerwald, who will go into the sin bin.
Number 23, Brody Steigerwald for Olympic Force. That's Olympic blue card. Steigerwald.
Seattle Sporting FC now have the power play. Two minutes with a man up. They got a free kick from just between the Seattle Sporting red line and center field here, or midfield. There's an argument between the refs and the Seattle bench right now. It looks like it's because they're giving the free kick to Olympic Force. This is always kind of a confusing gray area on these, that there's a free kick and a penalty called. The penalty was called against Olympic Force, but it looks like the free kick was awarded to the Olympic Force. So Seattle's wanting the free kick here, but it's actually going to be, unless we have a different decision, the referee's coming to explain it. And no, it is Olympic Force with the free kick, but he dumps it down to Renzio in good sportsmanship. And now Olympic Force will get to see their penalty kill at work in Seattle Sporting FC's power play. Carrera with the ball right now for Seattle. He gets it over to Reyes. Reyes will dump it down. Shot taken there by Hector Rodriguez. Goes around and gets to Esteban Reyes, who will get it up to Hendrickson. Now Carrera with the ball. He's at the top of the arc. Pass it off to Hendrickson. There's a shot taken by Julio Reyes, blocked away by the Olympic Force penalty kill. Carrera again with the ball. He's going to pass it over to Reyes. Reyes winds up for the shot, but instead he steps on the ball, stops it, passes it back to Carrera. Carrera now thinks that's a goal! Carrera, Jordan Carrera opens the scoring up for Seattle Sporting. It is 3-1 with 11:24 left to go in the first half. Nicely worked power play there for Seattle Sporting FC, and they finally get some quality shots on goal. One of them turns into a goal from Jordan Carrera. We're already back on here.
Their first of the evening scored on the power play by number 14, Jordan Carrera. That Sporting goal scored by number 14, Carrera, at 1:27.
Esteban Reyes hacked down there for Seattle Sporting. Restart taken. Shot goes way high up into the netting, right by where I am here, by Seattle Sporting. And now Reese is going to restart the game for Olympic Force. Radcliffe McDonald all over the field right now. He's trying to chase down the ball. Esteban Reyes now with it, deep into Olympic Force territory. Now played all the way back, though, to Renzio as Seattle's forced to retreat. Radcliffe McDonald gets it up to Lupe Rodriguez. Lupe Rodriguez doesn't get enough on his pass. Coughs it up to Olympic Force. Now Brian Mayherg takes a shot. It goes wide for Olympic Force. Lupe Fiasco, or Lupe. There's a goal by Lupe Rodriguez. And it's 3-2. Apologies. I was listening to too much hip hop on the way down. Lupe Rodriguez gets the goal for Seattle Sporting. Sometimes it just happens that way. And with 9:31 left, it's 3-2 Olympic Force, but Seattle Sporting chipping away. Lupe Fiasco, love soccer, not playing tonight, though, for Seattle Sporting FC. I knew I was going to do that, too. All right, Seattle Sporting with the ball again. Dorado plays it down into Olympic Force territory. Reese has it. He passes it up to Brody Steigerwald, who was the guilty of the last penalty for Olympic Force. He's back out there, though, in his defensive role for Olympic Force. That ball goes out of play, and there's actually going to be a free kick from the red line, the Seattle Sporting red line, for the Olympic Force. It's Francisco Cisneros who's going to take it. A two-man wall for Seattle. Pass off to, that was Jacob Beck who took the shot, went high and wide. And now Seattle Sporting on the counters. Lucas Dorado, he pulls the ball down right around his own bench. Dorado trying to hold up. He does. There's a shot taken. That was by Carlos Betancourt, who forced Reese to make the save. Now there's a huge shot that goes just high of the net. Rebounds down, and Reese has to make the save. That shot was by Mitch Reinhart. Reinhart now with the ball. He retreats back and plays the ball to his keeper, Renzio. Renzio gets up to Carrera, one of the goal scorers here for Seattle Sporting. He and Lupe Rodriguez. Carrera passes the ball back to Renzio. Renzio going to dump it down. But it's a three-line pass. And it'll be a free kick for Olympic Force at the Seattle Sporting red line. It's going to be Cisneros who will pass it off. Shot there taken by Gustavo Bermudez. But Renzio able to deal with it without a problem. Reese forced to come out of his net and play the ball down here in the Olympic Force zone. Mitch Reinhart, though, able to collect it. He passes it back to Renzio. Renzio finds Zach Crutchfield. And now it's Carrera with the ball. Carrera for Seattle Sporting. He dumps it down. He's got Carlos Betancourt waiting. Betancourt plays it up to Reinhart. Reinhart with the shot blocked by number 13, Gustavo Bermudez for Olympic Force. Reese now dumps the ball down for Olympic Force. Only gets about as far as midfield as it's headed down by Kevin Flavin. And a foul called, looks like, against Olympic Force. And there'll be a free kick for Seattle Sporting. So 3-2 now. for the Olympic Force. Seattle Sporting FC able to get 2 back. There's 6:24 left to go in this first half. Reese will actually get the free kick for Olympic Force. It was whatever went on there. It was dumped back down to Ren. Confusion. As Seattle Sporting now working the ball down in Olympic Force zone, but a foul called is going to be against Seattle. Reese is going to restart this game for Olympic Force. He plays it up to Diego Aceves. But Radcliffe McDonald gets in the way there, gets the ball away, takes a shot, just goes wide, gets back down to Corey Hendrickson, who will end up playing it back to Eli Say. Eli Say plays it all the way back to Renzio. Renzio dumps it down. He tries to find Radcliffe McDonald. Handball, though, called against Radcliffe McDonald. And it'll be a free kick for Olympic Force. 5:07 left to go. Reese getting ready to take the free kick here for the Force. He's got Hendrickson waiting for him. Instead, he plays it away from Seattle Sporting's Hendrickson, but it ends up finding its way to Hendrickson in the end. Clearance by Awadu, one of the goal scorers for Olympic Force. Goes off of a Seattle player, though, and there's a goal actually by Gustavo Bermudez. Another goal for him. That's a brace on the night. It is 4-2. Olympic Force doubles their lead once again. So a 4:14 left to go. 4-2. That last goal again scored by Gustavo Bermudez. Esteban Reyes restarts the match for Seattle Sporting FC. Radcliffe McDonald down to the corner here for Seattle Sporting. Mitch Reinhart with the ball now for Seattle Sporting. He gets over to McDonald. McDonald finds Lupe Rodriguez. Lupe Rodriguez at the touchline. He loses the ball, though, to Gustavo Bermudez. But the ball trickles all the way back down in the Seattle zone to Renzio. There's a shot taken by James Postma. Saved by Reese. There's a big shot on the other side of things taken by Jacob Beck. That goes high and wide, but only by a little bit. Now Cisneros with the ball for the Force. He passed it over to Beck. Beck gets into Seattle territory, but a deflection off of Seattle Sporting goes into the Olympic Force bench. And there's going to be a shot now from the top of the arc. It's going to be Gustavo Bermudez. He takes a shot. Big save by Renzio for Seattle Sporting. Seattle Sporting now on the attack. It's Silva. Oh, it's Esteban Reyes taken down. He looks to be in a fair amount of pain as he punches the pitch, and he is limping on it. He's down. They're going to call for the doctor to come out here. Finally, the referee blows the whistle. This is not good. As Esteban Reyes, down on the field. He's in a lot of pain. Francisco Cisneros coming over to make sure he's okay from Olympic Force. But he doesn't want anybody around him right now. It looks like it's his right leg. He tried to get up, only got up for about maybe 5 seconds, went back down. Finally, the coach here for Seattle Sporting FC pulls up Reyes. He is putting some weight on it, but not very much as he makes his way back to the bench. He's still having words, actually, with Francisco Cisneros in the force. Cisneros trying to extend his apologies, but Reyes not happy about it. So Force will play the ball back to Seattle as another show of good sportsmanship. 2:11 left to go in the half, although the clock is stopped. They haven't restarted it here yet. So could be less than that. Dorado along the boards for Seattle. They're into Olympic Force zone, but just as I say that, Olympic Force is able to get the ball back and break out. It's Leo Potts takes the shot, goes high. It's Francisco Cisneros who plays it back to Leo Potts. Potts now with the ball for Olympic Force. He gets it back to Cisneros. Cisneros dumps it down into Seattle zone. And there's Kelmill, who loses the ball to Seattle. Now it's going to be Hendrickson, who gets it up to Rodriguez. Lupe Rodriguez forced to play it back to his keeper, Jeff Renslow. Now it's Carrera with the ball. He has a golden night for Seattle. Or I should say this afternoon. Got to get used to these early games. Hendrickson brings the ball down. Shot, by Carrera. Goes off of number 22, Val Shimko for Olympic Force. Went off of his hand, but referee obviously thought it was ball to hand, not hand to ball. Shouts for handball, though, from Seattle. They definitely had a case as the ball is cleared all the way down to Renslow. Renslow fumbles the ball a little bit there for Seattle. Was able to collect it, clear it. Now Carrera with the ball. Hendrickson now. He switches the field. Shot there, taken from all the way at midfield. And it goes way up into the netting, and it's going to be a restart here for the Olympic Force. Reese is able to find Bermudez. Bermudez taken down by Zach Crutchfield, and it's going to be a free kick awarded to the Force with about 12 seconds left to go. The clock winding down. Will they get the free kick away? The clock continues to roll. 4 seconds left. And that's going to end the first half.
And that's the end of the first half of action. Your score after the first two quarters. Olympic Force 4, Seattle Sporting 2.
So as you can hear there over the PA, 4-2 at the end of this first half. Seattle, though, not giving up in that first half. In fact, they had the lead down to 1 goal, but a late goal by Bermudez was what the Olympic Force needed to get that insurance. A little bit of an easier breathing as they go into halftime. So, 4-2 here at Everett Soccer Arena. Still anybody's game, though. We all know that indoor soccer can be a very, very streaky game. So if Seattle can find themselves on a goal-scoring streak, they might just find themselves back in this game or even in the lead. Their goal scorers so far for Seattle are Lupe Rodriguez and Jordan Carrera. I'm going to take a little bit of a break here at halftime. Again, my name is Brandon Enyart. The score is 4-2 for the visiting Olympic Force over your Seattle Sporting FC. I will be back at the start of the second half. All right, we're about ready to start this second half. If you're just joining us, Seattle Sporting FC down 4-2 right now to the visiting Olympic Force. The goal scorers for the Olympic Force, 2 goals by Gustavo Bermudez, 1 goal by Jacob Beck, the other goal by Al Hassan Awadu. The goals by your Seattle Sporting FC, Jordan Carrera and Lupe Rodriguez. And there, the PA music is now quieted as we get ready for this second half of play. 2 15-minute quarters remain. Both teams at full strength to start off this second half. No penalties for either side. No blue cards shown. Seattle Sporting leaving their huddle. They march out onto the field right now in this second half. We have a change of goalkeeper for Seattle Sporting FC. Now, De Silva
second half of action
will be
make
in.
some noise.
Out there to start off the second half, Carrera, Rodriguez, Crutchfield, and Mitch Reinhardt. And we're back underway. Bermudez passes the ball back into his own zone. Ends up finding its way back to Reese, the keeper for Olympic Force. He dumps it down toward midfield. And it finds Aceves, who in returns finds Awadu. But it's broken up there by Seattle Sporting as Reinhardt plays the ball back to De Silva. De Silva now with his first play as keeper in this game. Carrera now has the ball for Seattle. He takes a shot. It goes around the boards, skips off of the arms of Reese, and now a big shot goes just wide. Reese looked to have it covered. Reinhardt with the ball now for Seattle. He's back near his own zone. He gets over to Lupe Rodriguez. Rodriguez up to Carrera, the 2 goal scorers here tonight. Carrera now gets around one defender. He passes it off to Crutchfield. And it's cleared away, though, by Olympic Force. It skips across the crease. Now Carrera, he gets it back to Reinhardt. Reinhardt will play it over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez at the Olympic red line. He plays over to Carrera. Carrera now, he has one defender on him. He plays it back to Reinhardt. Reinhardt back up to Carrera. Carrera plays it all the way back to De Silva. And now De Silva will dump it down. He finds Lupe Rodriguez. Rodriguez tries to get the ball free, but it's taken away by the Olympic Force. Now the Force making their way back down towards Seattle territory, but they're forced to play it back to Reese. And it's Kelmel who plays the ball down into Seattle territory. Worked around the corner. Wide open shot here. And that was for Flavin if he wanted it, but it was saved by De Silva. Olympic Force once again out on the attack. Big shot goes high. De Silva, a long, lanky keeper for Seattle Sporting FC.
Seattle Sporting number 23, Wesley De Silva.
There's going to be a free kick here taken at the top of the arch. 3-man wall for Seattle, and it does its work. Carrera with the ball for Seattle. He dumps it down toward Hector Rodriguez. Rodriguez forced to play it back to midfield. Dorado, though, it gets past him, and now Olympic Force will find themselves into Seattle zone. Radcliffe McDonald, though, gets the ball back for Seattle, and now it's played up to Crutchfield. Crutchfield has Rodriguez if he wants him, but instead he elects to play it over to Marco Silva. Silva now at his own, or at the Olympic red line, brought down. There's going to be a foul called against Olympic Force. I don't know if the referee has gone to his pocket yet, or if he will, but no, he does not. So it's only going to be a free kick here. And it's only going to be Eli Say who will take it. It's at the Olympic red line. He plays over to Radcliffe McDonald. Radcliffe McDonald back to Say, and Say takes a shot. Turned away by the Olympic defense. And now Radcliffe McDonald, he dumps it all the way down and finds Hector Rodriguez. Rodriguez takes a shot, finds Marco Silva, but he isn't able to put it on net. And there's a shot taken by Rodriguez, saved by Reese. But Seattle Sporting looking good out of the gates here in the second half as they're managing to get some shots on frame. Say hacked down there at midfield. Be another free kick for Seattle. Say has Radcliffe McDonald to his right if he wants him, but it looks like he's going to dump this one down, and he does. He finds Dorado. Dorado finds Silva. Silva now loses the ball, and Olympic Force on their way out, but a blue card is going to be shown, and it's shown to number 5 for Seattle, Corey Hendrickson. And it's going to be another power play for the Olympic Force.
Sporting's 2-minute blue card shown to number 5, Corey Hendrickson.
Corey Hendrickson.
Sporting blue card, Hendrickson.
Corey Hendrickson still hasn't left the pitch or the field. So unless, well, maybe the card was shown to the wrong person here. There is a power play for the Olympic Force, but Hendrickson's still out there. And so far, we haven't got any word about who is serving the penalty for Seattle. It's a little bit of a mix-up there. Nevertheless, Olympic Force out on the power play. There's a goal by Aceves, Diego Aceves. It's a 5-2 game now. Olympic Force able to capitalize on that power play quick. And with 10:26 to go, it's 5-2 Olympic Force.
At 10:23.
Unfortunate for Seattle Sporting there because they started off this second half really, really well, actually. But once they got that blue card, well, set them back, and Olympic Force able to capitalize. Now it's 5-2. 3-goal game. Carrera, though, with the ball for Seattle. He gets over to Say. Say plays it back to Carrera. Carrera gets it up toward. There's a goal by Eli Say, just as I was about to say his name. And he puts it in. That was quick. And the deficit is back down to 2 for Seattle. Quick response. Eli Say with his first of the night. Game back underway.
Seattle Sporting goal, their third of the evening, scored by number 15, Eli Say. Time of the goal, 9:52. That Sporting goal scored by Say at 9:52.
All right, now Reinhardt gets it back to Say. Whistle blown by the ref, though. He's going to call this against Seattle. It was going to be a free kick for Olympic Force from their own zone. So with 9:11 left to go, 5-3. Olympic Force still with the lead. It looks like Esteban Reyes clutching his right sort of shoulder pectoral area. He seems to be in a little bit of pain, so something was going on there behind the scenes because the whistle was blown behind the play. And now coaches fighting with each other. Referee trying to get in between them as now the benches are starting to get into this as things start to get really, really chippy. Still words being said. Oh, you gotta love that sort of passion, right? All right, but now finally looks like we're gonna get this game back underway. Referee still explaining things at the Olympic red line. Carrera has the ball now for Seattle. He dumps it down. He finds Eli Say, the last goal scorer for Seattle. So now Mitch Reinhardt with the ball. Carrera will take over as Reinhardt falls to the ground. Carrera now battling for it in the corner. He's got Rodriguez there for support. Carrera, they'll play it back to Reinhardt. Reinhardt's got Lupe Rodriguez to his right. He finds him. Rodriguez all the way down for Hector Rodriguez. And now the referee once again blowing the play dead, showing a blue card. I'm not sure if that was shown to the bench or what's going on, but the blue card was pulled out. I was actually shown toward the Olympic Force bench. Now Seattle Sporting is going to have a power play. So Seattle Sporting could get within 1 goal here if they can capitalize on this power play. Olympic Force has their penalty kill out there, their unit. Hector Rodriguez gets it back to Corey Hendrickson. Now Mitch Reinhardt, he takes a shot. That goes high. Falls back to around midfield as Carrera takes over. Carrera now steps over the ball. He finds Reinhardt. Reinhardt steps up to it. He goes back to Carrera. Carrera shoots. Big save by Reese. And another big save by Reese. 2 huge saves in a row. And now Reese is down. Or actually, excuse me, he's not down. One of his teammates is. I can't get a number. It's on the other side of the field. But he's back up now. And with a little bit to go in this power play, Olympic Force will be able to take some seconds off the clock here. As Reese will restart this game, he dumps it all the way down to Seattle zone, all the way to Carrera. Carrera makes his way back up into Olympic zone. He takes a shot. That goes wide. Olympic Force clears it back to De Silva. And now it's Carrera back with the ball. He's got Reinhardt to his right, and City dumps it down toward Hendrickson. Now a shot there taken by James Postma. That goes wide. Reinhardt back with the ball for Seattle. He plays it down to Hector Rodriguez. Comes back up to Carrera. Carrera now with the ball. He steps over, takes a shot. That one deflects, and it's in! There's a goal by Jordan Carrera, his second of the night. He's got the brace, and it's a 5-4 game here at Everett Soccer Arena. As now Seattle Sporting only down by 1 goal. So the power play, once again, proves to be very important to Seattle Sporting FC, as they are 2 for 2 now with the man advantage.
Seattle Sporting goal, their 4th of the evening, scored by number 14, Jordan Carrera, on the power play. That Sporting goal, scored by Carrera on the power play.
Eli Say now working in his own zone on the corner. He gets the ball out to Radcliffe. Radcliffe McDonald, who tries to find Silva down deep. Not De Silva, but just Silva. And now Silva, he takes a shot. That goes high into the netting, and it'll be Olympic Force ball. Reese going to restart this game. But his pass ends up finding its way into Bellingham's bench. And now Bellingham will get the chance to kick this one off again. Silva plays it up toward Rodriguez. There's a shot taken, goes wide. Olympic able to clear. Radcliffe McDonald heads it back down to his keeper, De Silva. Wesley De Silva will play it up to Silva. Silva now gets it back to Radcliffe McDonald. McDonald back to De Silva. Now De Silva dumps it down. Esteban Reyes, he's got the ball for Seattle. Turns around, takes a shot, saved by Reese. It was just a little kind of skipper that went in there, but still a little bit of a tough one for Reese because he was down on the field already. Now here it's Reyes. He passed it over to Dorado. Dorado had the shot, but it was sniped away from him by the Olympic Force. Now there on the counter. De Silva, though, comes and meets Jacob Beck. Clears it. It is going to be a shot now from the red line for the Olympic Force, but a very nice sweeper-keeper play there by Wesley De Silva. Pardon me, it's going to be from the top of the arc here, the shot. 3-man wall for Seattle. Shot goes off the wall. Once again, the Seattle wall doing well, but a deflection does find its way off of Jacob Beck and into the arms of De Silva, who gets it up to Esteban Reyes. But it's going to be a 3-line pass, I believe, called against Seattle Sporting FC. At least that's what the referee seems to be alluding to right now. Carrera, though, not happy with the call, as he argues it with the ref. A lot of passion there being shown by Jordan Carrera, who believes that the ref got this one wrong. We'll see what the fallout is of all this
Yellow card shown to Seattle Sporting's number 14.
Craziness.
Jordan Carrera. That's Carrera. Yellow.
So as you probably heard over the PA there, Jordan Carrera actually shown the yellow card because of looks like dissent mixed with some other things. Referee seen it now. So the yellow card will not be a power play for the Olympic Force, but Jordan Carrera, who's been a very, very important part, he has the brace tonight. He's going to be off the field for 5 minutes. .335 left to go in the third quarter. 5-4 Olympic Force, the visitors here. They lead your Seattle Sporting FC. Referee still explaining everything to both sides here. Regardless, Jordan Carrera will be out of the game for 5 minutes. Free kick will be taken by Mitch Reinhardt. Again, one of those scenarios where the free kick was awarded to Seattle, but the effects after the whistle was blown by Jordan Carrera lands him in the sin bin for 5 minutes. And it looks like we're just about ready to get this all back on track. Or maybe not. There's still some talking going on with the ref. Oh, here we go. Now finally. All right, dumped down by Reinhardt into the Olympic Force zone. Rod Reyes there takes a shot for Seattle, but goes wide. Now De Silva, way out of his net, plays it up to Reinhardt. Reinhardt takes a shot from the red line, deflected by Olympic Force defense. And now back to De Silva. De Silva definitely playing a lot more out of his net than we saw from Renslow. And Renslow played the first half for Seattle. A lot of confusion here as Olympic Force down in the Seattle zone. But a foul called against De Silva as he took down Aceves. It's going to be a free kick from a somewhat dangerous position here for Seattle. And there's a goal for Olympic Force. The goal by Gustavo Bermudez, and it's a hat trick for Gustavo. And now a 6-4 lead for Olympic Force.
Olympic holder 6 of the evening, scoreboard number 13, Gustavo Bermudez. It's Olympic goal, Bermudez.
Reinhardt now gets the ball over to Zach Crutchfield, who dumps it down, but is cleared away by Olympic Force, but actually cleared up into the netting and the ceiling here. So it's going to be a shot from the Olympic Force red line for Seattle. It's taken quickly by Crutchfield. He gets it away to Reinhardt, takes a shot, goes off of the gloves of Reese, Marshall Reese, the keeper for Olympic Force. Now it's Wesley De Silva. He plays it up to Zach Crutchfield. Crutchfield now finds his way back into the Olympic Force zone. It's Reyes who takes a shot, and a header by Lupe Rodriguez, or actually, pardon me, that was Esteban Reyes, the header that went up and above the goal. And now it's Marco Silva, but he gives the ball up to Olympic Force. Now Reinhardt with the ball for Seattle. He gets it back, gets it up to Silva. But the ball skips away over to Marshall Reese, who only clears it as far as Crutchfield. Now Silva with the ball again for Seattle. But Olympic Force able to get it back. Bermudez plays the ball over to Victor Kelmel. Kelmel's got it down in Seattle Sporting zone. As Val Shimko works along the boards with that's Crutchfield. Shimko comes away with it. He gets around. Defender takes a shot, and it's in. Goal by Shimko. What a solo effort by Val Shimko. And it is 7-4 Olympic Force. He nutmegged Crutchfield, got around another defender and took the shot, and it went top corner. Beautiful goal by Val Shimko, no matter which side you are cheering for. Silva, though, makes a nice move for Seattle around there. There's a goal by Lucas Dorado. It was the rebound off of the shot from Silva. What a goal. And now it's 7-5. Lucas Dorado, we saw him do that a little bit in the WISL this year with the Arlington Aviators. And as the third quarter comes to an end, it's a 2-goal game still. Olympic Forest leading Seattle Sporting 7-5.
Number 8, Lucas Dorado. That's Sporting goal, scored by Dorado.
That was right down the center, too, for Lucas Dorado. All right, so the end of the third quarter. Got 15 minutes left to go on this one. Both teams getting a quick break. I'm going to step away for just a second, and I'll be back at the start of the fourth. All right, the teams are going to make their way back out into the field here as Metallica plays over the PA system there. Barring any sort of crazy final period here, it is going to be. Sorry about that. Was making way for the PA there. Barring any, let me get back to that. Barring any sort of crazy happening here in the final period, the championship will be held in Bremerton, as Seattle will have to win by 11 goals to win the division here and host the championship. All right, now it's Olympic Force with the ball. It's Bermudez, who's had a hat trick already. He's been all over the place tonight. He gets it deep down into Seattle territory, but it's swept up by De Silva, who dumps it back down to Lupe Rodriguez. Rodriguez gets around a defender. He takes a shot. That goes wide. There's a new keeper in for Olympic Forest. It's Juan Gash, who comes in relief for Marshall Reese. Radcliffe McDonald gets the ball dumped back down into Olympic Force zone. It's actually Crutchfield able to keep it in, takes a shot, but is saved by Gash. His first big save of the night. Shot taken by Dorado. He had the last goal for Seattle. Saved by Gash. Gash now dumps it down. Finally gets it cleared in the Seattle zone. Now, could have been dangerous there as Beck for Olympic Force almost had the ball in the clear. And now Seattle's got it back. Lupe Rodriguez is down into Olympic Force zone. Corey Hendrickson and Lupe along the boards, but somehow Olympic comes out with it. And it's Brody Steigerwald who has it. He gets it back to Aceves. Aceves dumps it all the way down into Seattle territory, but De Silva able to clear it only as far as the Olympic Force bench and into the netting. So it will be a shot here after the defensive clearance for Olympic Force from the top of the arc. Passed off, and a shot taken goes just wide. Actually, you know what? That shot went in. Everybody here a little bit confused, but the goal is on the board. 8-5. Looked like it went wide. But that was a goal by Olympic Forest. So that was one of the stranger goals I have seen. As I don't think anybody even knows who scored that one. It's Victor Kelmel. It looks like who actually got it. I'm getting the word that
Olympic Forest goal there, inconvenient, scored by number 16, Victor Kemmel.
gotta say, like I said, one of the stranger goals that I've seen here, as it looked to have gone wide. Seattle now, they have a free kick after all the confusion. Olympic, though, defends it nicely. It could have been for a lot of us over here in the press area. We're kind of at the corner, and the goals almost appear flat, and it's a goal that's far away from us. And I think that because the boards here and the goals are very similar in color, a lot of us here at press row, we did not know what happened there, but it was a goal, and it's 8-5 now for Olympic Force. Very, very strange. Looked to be hitting wide. Awadu for Olympic Force. Eli Say comes out with it for Seattle Sporting. Eli Say, he has a goal tonight. He plays it up toward Reyes. Reyes now finds Reinhardt. Reinhardt's got it. He tries to go around Gash, but he can't. Gash able to just kind of poke it away. And now there's a battle on the corner for the ball. Esteban Reyes looked to almost have it, but the whistle was blown by the ref. He's going to call blow the whistle against Seattle. Not sure what was seen there, but regardless, Olympic Force dump it down and Seattle takes over. Reinhardt's got it, the ball now for Seattle. He'll play it over to Eli Say. Eli Say finds Lupe Rodriguez. Lupe Rodriguez now at the Olympic red line. He's got Jordan Carrera down deep. Jordan Carrera has the ball now for Seattle. He's taken down by Francisco Cisneros. Free kick taken quickly. It's now Reyes with the ball. Reyes takes a shot. It's in by Eli Say. His brace. What a header. Eli Say has made this a 2-goal game once again with 9:36 left. Seattle Sporting staying in this one. And as I said, they would need 11 goals to have home field advantage, 11-goal lead to have home field advantage. That's not going to happen. But they still are playing for pride here, and they would have the same record as Olympic Force on this season if they could win this one.
That Sporting goal scored by 15 Say.
All right, so this one is back on. Dorado now passes the ball up to Radcliffe McDonald, who gets it over to Lupe Rodriguez. Shot by Dorado is blocked, and now Reyes looks to pick up the scraps, but Olympic also there to meet him. Now Reyes, he brings it down, tries to take the shot, but he's got defenders all around him. Dorado now with the ball for Seattle. He takes a shot. That goes wide. It gets all the way back up to Lupe Rodriguez. After it bounced around the boards, Rodriguez takes a shot. That goes high. No, and the referee says that went out of bounds, but the nets hang over here. I think that was actually, even from a nonpartisan standpoint, that was a bad call. That should have continued on. The nets hang over. It didn't go higher than the boards here. Regardless, referees make mistakes too.
Your attention, please. Now in goal for Seattle Sporting, number 5, Corey Hendrickson.
So Corey Hendrickson now, as you probably heard over the PA, he's being brought in as sort of a hybrid keeper forward to close in this 2-goal gap with 7:56 left to play. So essentially an extra attacker, but somebody who can also play keeper. There's a shot taken by Carrera. He's looking for the hat trick, but it was saved by Gash. And now Hendrickson having to march all the way back to his goal as the ball was finding its way back down into Seattle zone, but Seattle able to get it back into Olympic zone. Silva with the ball for Seattle. It's Carrera now, though, who's battling along the boards with Bermudez, and the referee blows a whistle. Is he going to go to his pocket? He hasn't pulled out a card yet. He's speaking with the Seattle Sporting bench. There was kind of a scuffle along the board, so not exactly sure either who the foul is being called against right now as he's talking to the Seattle bench. Carrera not happy with something. Whole Seattle bench not happy with something. So I'll let you know as soon as we know what's going on here, but the referee explaining something to the Seattle Sporting bench. Now he's going to march his way over to the Olympic Force bench. And it's going to be a free kick, it looks like, yes, for Olympic Force. So Carrera not happy with the free kick going against Seattle Sporting FC. But it's going to be down from the Olympic Force side of the neutral zone. Oh, it's actually a drop ball. So we've discussed it, and it ends up being a drop ball. There's a shot taken, saved by Corey Hendrickson. So his first stop as a keeper here tonight. Reyes brought down, and now there's a fight going on here right down below me as the melee ensues after Reyes was taken down. And now there's a lot of pushing and shoving going on here. In fact, some guys off of the bench here. I'm not sure what will happen because there's somebody who obviously, I'm not sure which side he's for, but he came out through one of the windows you can view from over here and onto the field and started to push and shove. I'm not sure if he's not going to get a penalty for that, as that's usually something the referees don't particularly like. So Reyes, even though he was the one who was brought down by Mayerg and Bermudez, he's shown the yellow card. He'll be out for the remainder. Well, no, it looks like it's 6:59 to go in this last period of play. So he will come back just before this game ends. Free kick going to be taken by Jordan Carrera. He passed it off to Silva. Silva has it. He tries to pass over to Lupe Rodriguez, but in the way of that pass was Victor Kelmel. Reinhardt now with the ball for Seattle. He dumps it back down into Olympic territory. Silva's got it for Seattle. Silva along the boards. He's going to find Crutchfield. Crutchfield is going to find Hendrickson. Hendrickson takes a shot, goes wide, comes back to Silva. Silva, shot goes wide and into the arms of Juan Gash. Now Olympic's going to start out, but they retreat back into their own zone. Now Silva with the ball for Seattle. He gets over to Reinhardt. Reinhardt, though, not able to bend around Leo Potts. And now it's a battle at the neutral zone. But Reinhardt almost comes away with it. But finally, Olympic clears it down into the Seattle zone as Hendrickson has to battle to get it away up to Reinhardt at his own red line. Now Carrera will try to get it up to Reinhardt, and he does after a weird bounce. Reinhardt gets it out to Crutchfield. Crutchfield now is going to try to find Lupe Rodriguez, but instead, Leo Potts gets in the way. And now Olympic Force clears the ball, but it goes up into the netting at the ceiling here. And it's going to be a defensive clearing called against Olympic Force. And it'll be a free kick for Seattle from the red line. Taken quickly as Reinhardt took the shot, but is blocked away by the defense of the Olympic Force. Now Jordan Carrera finds Lupe Rodriguez. He turns, looks to take a shot, but there's too many defenders in front of him. He does take one. Finds its way through, but not enough mustard on it. Now Hendrickson, he's got the ball for Seattle. Gets over Jordan Carrera. Carrera now takes a shot. Goes off the tips of the fingers of Juan Gash back to Jordan Carrera, but he stumbles over the ball. And now he's down on the field, gets back up, and he meets Brian Mayerg. Mayerg gets the best of him, though, and the ball dumped down to the Seattle zone. Hendrickson will find James Postma. Postma now gets it back to Hendrickson. Hendrickson playing as a goalie right now. And now the clearance comes all the way over toward the near side of the field, and that's going to be a free kick for Olympic Force. 4:18 left to go in this match. 8-6 game. Olympic Force leads this one. Victor Calmel with the ball for Olympic Force. And now it's Awadu. He's got a goal here tonight for the Force, but it's blocked away by Seattle. And now dumped back down by Francisco Cisneros into the Seattle zone. Really nice move there by Bermudez. Already has a hat trick. But Seattle able to escape without any problems as they get it back toward midfield. Postma trying to get the ball back for Seattle, but it actually gets turned over. And as Victor Calmel puts it in for, looked like it was Calmel who got the final touch on that, and that's another goal for Olympic Force. It is 9-6 now with 3:28 left to go.
Scored by number 13, Gustavo Bermudez.
Their PA saying Bermuda scored that one, so Calmel must not have gotten a foot on it like it appeared. Nevertheless, he was in on that goal, whether it was by assist or by shot. But there is a header from Lupe Rodriguez that goes high of the Olympic Force net. Now it's Silva who has it for Seattle. He takes a shot, blocked by Olympic Force. Gash now with the ball for the Force. He dumps it down into the Seattle zone. Hendrickson gets it at his own red line. Now he's going to pass it up to Lucas Dorado. Dorado gets it over to McDonald, tries to hit it in stride, but he misses it. The clearance, though, it looks like it was off of a Olympic Force player last. It's going to be a free kick from the red line. Hendrickson takes it, gets over to Say. Say puts it up, and they're going to call that one out of bounds as well. Find it interesting they're calling that one out of bounds, as, like I've said now twice, the netting hangs over the boards here, but the ball is hitting the boards. So just because the netting's hanging a little lower, to me, that's still an inbounds ball, but the referee's seeing it differently today. Shimko passes the ball back to his keeper, Juan Gash, who dumps it all the way down into Seattle territory. Awadu takes a shot. That's blocked by Rodriguez. And now it's Eli Say with the ball for Seattle. 2:17 left to go on this one. Say retreats back into his own zone, gets the ball back to Hendrickson. Hendrickson is going to find Lupe Rodriguez. Rodriguez passes it back to Hendrickson. Hendrickson now gets past midfield. Going to try to dump it down, but Aceves gets in the way. And now Aceves playing keep away here as a really long attempt by Olympic Force trying to catch Hendrickson out of his net, but it does not find the goal. Jordan Carrera, he's hacked down. A free kick for Seattle Sporting FC coming up here. Taken quickly, shot by Say, goes just wide. Eli Say back with the ball. He passes it back to Lupe Rodriguez. Rodriguez takes a shot. Carrera now back with the ball. He comes out, takes a shot, saved by Gash. And we've got 1:25 left to go. Hendrickson battling with Aceves. He gets the better of Aceves and gets the ball back. Jordan Carrera now dumps it all the way down, finds Silva. Silva, though, has to get it back up toward Rodriguez, and Rodriguez loses the ball to Mayerg, who dumps it down into Seattle territory. And there is 1 minute left to go in this match. Seattle down by 3 goals. Eli Say with the ball now for Seattle. Seattle needing 3 quick ones if they want to force extra soccer here at Everett Soccer Arena tonight. Aceves dumps it down, clears it away. As there's 35 seconds left now in this game. Hendrickson gets it up to Carrera. Another push for Seattle. They try to get another one back. Carrera takes a shot, goes wide. 25 seconds left to go. Lupe Rodriguez met at the Olympic Forest red lines. The ball goes up and out of bounds. Who knows who that one went off of last as they both collided with each other. But the referee is going to give the kick to Seattle as Carrera will pass it off. Hendrickson takes a shot. He scores! Corey Hendrickson playing as keeper and forward right now. It's 9-7 with 18 seconds left to go. 2 goals needed now by Seattle in these last 18 seconds if they want to force extra soccer.
Seattle Sporting goal, their 7th of the evening, scored by number 5, Corey Hendrickson. That Sporting goal scored by 5, Hendrickson, 7th goal of the evening.
10 seconds left. It looks like Olympic Forest are going to remain only beaten once this season, as Seattle will suffer their 3rd defeat. Both of these teams going to the championship next week in Bremerton.
Seattle Sporting 7. Fans, thank you for attending tonight's match.
I'll let the PA
hope to see you again
go,
soon.
and then I will sign off here in a minute. All right, so thank you, everybody, for joining me. Again, my name is Brandon Enyart. Score today, Olympic Forest 9, Seattle Sporting 7.